What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Now, if this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here for the live show. If in case this is your first time here, I typically go over some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then I get in and interact with you viewers in the live chats as we go on and talk about some of the comic books and just some of the other rumors going on throughout the week in movies, music, and comic books. So, again, like I said, I typically go over my comic books, and before I get into that today, I wanted to let you all know, in case you guys haven't checked it out or heard me talk about it before, a few weeks ago, I was on a live stream on Drunk 3PO's channel, and it was a show called A Drunk and Some Black Guys. Now, I'm not sure if we are actually going to be, if he's going to be changing the name of that for, how would you say, monetary reasons, possibly. It's really hard to say, but it's a live stream that goes on Sundays. I believe it's going on about every other week over on Drunk 3PO's channel, and I believe it is going down this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're here on the West Coast like I am, I believe that's about 5:30, 4:30. So in case you haven't, I will make sure that I leave a link down in the description to his channel, so you can make sure to go there and check that out. And make sure you have your notifications on for his channel as well, so you get those notifications anytime that he is getting ready to go live. So if you guys could do that, it would be much appreciated. Go check out his channel, subscribe to him, Drunk 3PO. It's just a bunch of guys coming on there and just talking about whatever there is to talk about. There's a lot of things that we can cover. So now, as I said, in case you haven't been here before, I typically go over some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and today I want to go over this book right here. In case you missed my comic book pull list on Wednesday, I didn't actually have this on my comic book pull list. It's not one that I even bought, but it is Kanto, issue number 1. Now, this is on IDW Comics, and it seems like they do like a lot of like other like franchise properties, and just they're a smaller publisher. But this book right here, Kanto number 1, was really excellent. My comic book shop, in case you don't have a local comic book shop near you, you should get out and support them. They're always awesome people, I can guarantee it. My comic book shop actually lent this to me to do a review on this book, and I gotta tell you, if I had the money for this book, I would go grab it. But the price on this actually went up already from the cover price of $3.99, and I can tell you it's gonna be worth the money that this first issue was, because I believe it went up to like $9.99, and this book is a very important number 1. It's a kickoff of a new series. This book was really excellent. I wasn't expecting this book to be as good as it was. I'm going to tell them actually at my local comic book shop, when they get a second printing of this, I want the second printing. I don't want to pay $10 for this book, but believe me when I say I would, because this book was really good. It's kind of, in case you can't see the cover there, it kind of looks like a little medieval. I mean, to me, it kind of reminded me of, say, Wall-E meets The Wizard of Oz meets Lord of the Rings. It was a really cool, touching book. The first like 6 pages go on with a little bit of the narration. There's some of the art you can see there. It goes on for about 6 pages, just 6 pages of narration, kind of showing you, introducing you into the world, some of our characters, kind of what they're going through, and just giving a nice little backstory. After actually reading these few, I believe it was like 6 pages, each, 2 on each page. There was like 6 pages worth, not total pages, but like each, so 3 pages or so of just narration where they were talking about, kind of giving you not necessarily a whole backstory on what's going on, but just kind of setting up the world and what was going on. And I thought it was very unexpected what I got out of this book. I didn't know what to expect out of this book. It's not something like I would normally read. It's kind of not in the superhero or even like the cyberpunk genre, which I've kind of gotten into with Neon Future. But this was a real surprise. Like, I found myself, like, by the time I turned to that 3rd page, or 6 overall, like, I was already emotionally invested in this story. It really sucked me in and got me thinking, like, man, like, I already feel like there's a good story getting ready to be unfolded in the next issue, and probably in this whole series altogether. I really like what's going on in this book. Like I said, and let me tell you guys who was. This book is written by David David M. Boer. The art is by Drew Zucker. The colors are by Vittorio Astone, and the letters are by Darren Bennett, and the editor is David Marriott, and you can see that right there. I'll go ahead and show that to you. But again, this book was really good. And like I said, to me, the one thing that kind of stuck out to me, why I say it was kind of reminded me of Wall-E, because in case you guys probably don't know, that Wall-E was actually is one of my favorite Disney movies like that they've done. In that like that animation style, and I really did like the movie Wall-E when it came out. And to me, that movie it's got a lot of profound messages in it. But one of the things that overall stuck out to me in that movie was Wall-E and Eva. You know, he was a robot who had never really, in a long time, it's been a long time since he had contact with other, how would you say, other civilizations, other people. And then he met Eva when they were there, when she came, and, you know, he like kind of instantly fell head over heels for her. And through the course of his mission throughout the whole movie was, you could see like his motivation wasn't to save everybody, it was to save Eva. He fell in love with her, and you know, that was like that was like his lady, you know, like he loved her. And everything he did throughout the course of that movie was really in pursuit of that love that he sought and that he saw in Eva. So to me, it was a really heart touching movie. I really do like Wall-E, and this book Kanto, man, it goes there. It goes there in one issue. It got me emotionally invested in it already. I want to read more of what's going on in this story, what's going on in this book. I love this book. I will be dropping a review on this book probably here over the weekend or early next week. To do that for my local comic book shop, since they were so generous and lent me that book to do a review on. Like I said, if you have a local comic book shop near you, you should get out and support them. Even if you don't buy comic books, they have action figures. Like mine has sports cards and like magic cards and just all kinds of nerdy stuff. You could always get out and support your local comic book shop, even if you're not buying comic books. But you should, because there's some great storytelling to be had in them. Great artwork. Like I said, this book Kanto is definitely a diamond in the rough, especially the rough that has been comic books lately, as far as I know. Like I said, I've only got started reading about a year ago again, and I haven't found a whole lot of things wrong. Just some stuff, you know. I mean, there are some things that I would like to see different, but you know, I mean, you got to think that these comic book companies are trying to make books that appeal to a wide audience, and not every book is going to appeal to everybody, and that's why they have the separate titles. So you know, some that you can avoid. Now, the other one I want to talk about really quick is this White Widow issue number 2. It's on Absolute Comics. Now, you guys see me talking about this on my comic book pull list on Wednesday. I wanted to read this book. I got into it. I was afraid there was going to be like a Black Widow ripoff. And, you know, sure enough, I got in here and it wasn't. It's not a Black Widow ripoff. But what it did turn out being more like was, I realized it's more almost like a Spider-Man ripoff, where, you know, she basically has like these powers and everything. And let me even show you this. Like, look, it's like she even got a symbiote here. It's like I'm reading Spider-Gwen, but not quite Spider-Gwen. Like, I don't really know, you know. Like the really funny thing was when I'm reading it, and along comes Genki. We got Genki in a damn comic book. Okay, now I gotta tell you, this first issue, it wasn't terrible. It's not terrible. It's just when I started reading it and getting into it, I really felt like, wow, like this really seems like a ripoff of kind of like Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, kind of Venom kind of vibes, like, and then like I said, show you, I mean, there's Genki. There's literally a female Genki in this book. So I don't know. It wasn't bad. The art in it was good. The story didn't seem too original though. Anything really going on. But again, like when you get into the superhero genre and you doing a book like something like a White Widow, I mean, honestly, I think that you almost have to do something like everybody else has done already. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like there is still plenty of other things that you could do, and you don't have to follow, like, basically these same kind of stereotypes like we get out of Spider-Man and some of the other books that are out there that would be similar to this. Again, I did have my comic book shop order in issue number 1 because I want to see how number 1 starts off and then gets us here into issue number 2, even though they do kind of have a backstory. But I think there could be a little bit difference, and maybe that might make a little bit of difference. In case you can't tell, in case you've seen my Neon Future reviews, issue number 1, actually, once I read that after reading issue number 3 and then I read issue number 1, I was like, ooh, wow. I've got a review for issue number 2 getting ready to come out as well, and issue number 4. And starting off at the issue number 1, like after reading issue number 1, after reading issue number 3, was kind of like, oh, like this one's not as good. But that's because the issue number 1 was setting up the world that I was already thrown into. So the issue number 1 over on Neon Future was really great. Issue 2 was awesome. Got that review getting ready to come out very soon. Number 3 was obviously good, but like I said, you guys know I'm trying to get into more smaller press stuff. I wasn't let down with this book. I just kind of wish it would have been something a little bit different. Not so, how would you say, not such a copy of like Spider-Man or Venom or anything like that. But that's all I really have for my comic books that I want to discuss today. But we've got plenty of things that we need to talk about today. And before we get into the show, before I get into the live chats, I want to ask you guys: did you guys see my video on is there too many Spider-Man, or the saturated Spider-Man? Did you see that video I dropped this morning? Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about that video, and we'll discuss that. But let me know what you thought about that video, and answer this question: are there too many Spider-Man titles out right now? Like I said in that video, it seems like there's just so much going on that it makes one title that comes out that could be a really great issue seem lackluster in the just this tidal wave of Spider-Man titles that is out there right now. Like I said, I don't know. If you could, let me know down in the comments below so we can get a conversation started, and let me know what else you would like me to talk about. Again, thank you all so much for being here on the Trailer Park Live tonight. I'm going to hop on my computer now and we'll get this party started. What's up, everybody? How you all doing? So, yeah, that I'm sure you've seen that White Widow comic book that I was just showing you guys there on the video. It was actually quite funny. I was hoping this book was gonna have a little bit more to it, and it kind of, I don't know. It just pulled from a lot of things. See, we got a couple people here on the stream right now. Lord Callus, how you doing? And Damajanai, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. God, I honestly, I had some stuff I wanted to talk about, and then I kind of started forgetting about everything. Oh, is that a little bit too loud there? It looks like I'm going into the red. Okay, maybe that might be a little bit better. So yeah, I normally start the show at 8. I appreciate you all being here. I started a little over an hour late. I normally start at 8 p.m., but my daughter actually had karate. I take my kids to karate class, and she just actually tested for her purple belt. So my 8-year-old daughter, she just got her purple belt. And yeah, so started the stream a little bit late here. But again, thank you all for being here. And yeah, like I said, did you guys happen to check out that video I did earlier this morning, that I dropped earlier this morning about the Spider-Man? Yeah, like I said, I picked up like 24 titles this week. It would have been 25 if I had that Miles Morales issue too that I already stopped pulling. Now, granted, like 11 of those are 11 of them are true believers, and then there's this Superior Spider-Man and all that stuff, but still, regardless, it's like all spin-offs of Spider-Man. It's absolutely crazy. And then they've got several mini-series going on right now, and and like I said, in that video, I'm not complaining about the story or anything that's going on in them. The stories are well written. Tom Taylor's doing a good job on the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Nick Spencer, I've talked I don't know, several times about, I like what Nick Spencer is doing with the Amazing Spider-Man. But then, there's just all these other little mini-series. There's just everything going on. It's just like, the other day, I was seriously sitting there, reading one of the books, and I was getting towards the end, and I'm like, wait a minute, I can't really remember what's going on here. Like, which book was this? Because, for one, Black Cat is prominent in, I think, 2, maybe 3 of them, and that happen to be falling at this particular time, and I'm like, well, it's hard. It gets kind of hard to keep track of which story arc was this. I don't know, but yeah, whole bunch of Spider-Man issues, and then like I said, then there's that. I'm not sure if you guys seen that video the other week. I think it was just last week. They dropped it with J.J. Abrams and his son Henry Abrams, where they were sitting there talking to everybody, and it was really creepy. I don't want to know. I don't know. It just looked creepy. J.J. Abrams sat there. I mean, he kind of looked like, I don't know, like he was possessed. He looked like a freaking robot anyway. But these people are, I don't know. These people are probably kind of out there anyway. But then his son looked real creepy, and the way they were just talking, I'm like, I wouldn't leave my kids alone with them. I'd be like, come on, kids, let's get out of here. Like, no, I can't leave you with these people. It was just creepy, and the vibe it gave off was really just, I don't know. Did you guys happen to catch that? It was I don't know. I thought it was pretty. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty off-putting. And like I said, with so many Spider-Man things and everything going on at this point anyway, I'm almost like, you know what? F this comic book. I'm not sure that I want to read this Spider-Man comic book written by J.J. Abrams and his son, because you think J.J. Abrams really had anything to do with it? I seriously doubt that J.J. Abrams did any writing it. Like, he probably wrote like the first panel, you know, or like the little intro, you know, after they kind of tell you about Peter Parker and how he got the spider powers and all that, and then he probably wrote like a little line of dialogue, and then that's it. His son probably did the rest. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little bit sad at this point. And it's not like Marvel's reaching too. I mean, Spider-Man sells, obviously. You know, you see, I got a stack of comic books out here, and you know they're selling a bunch of those comic books, I'm sure. But there gets to be a point, like I said, when you got so many books going on at one point, you know, another one comes along and it's like, oh yeah, just it's another Spider-Man title. All right, you know, you're gonna read it and be like, cool, great, and you know it ruins. I think it really ruins, you know, just with the oversaturation, it ruins the how the specialness of it. You know, it just doesn't feel as cool. It doesn't feel as neat. Seeing, you know, just because there's so much of them, I think it takes away from it. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It could be just me. It could be. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about, aside from the Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man comic books, I'm not sure if you guys been seeing all the trailers and all that stuff. I haven't really been keeping up with a whole lot of the stuff, getting ready to go in here to Far From Home, but I'm excited as hell for this for this movie to come out. I just seen earlier today. I seen you know, obviously like reviews are starting to drop and everything, but Warstu actually did a video where he was like on screen and everything, and like you could see the excitement in his face and everything, and is talking about it. I'm like, yes, like dude, like yes, this is the kind of videos you need to be doing where I can see you. That's like, you know, I see a lot of people out there. They do like the videos like with the slideshows and everything, like. You gotta be creative, you know, and that's the one thing. And then, you know, if you're not showing your face, you gotta do something like, you know, like just like a voice actor does when you're doing those kind of videos, you know. So you gotta bring something to it, you know. You gotta really be like you're playing a role, and you gotta, you know, because nobody can see you. So you know, it's almost like typing. If you're just typing, you know, something, and you know, nobody can tell what your tone is really, you know. So, but like in that video, like you could see he was giving his spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Far From Home, and you could see the excitement on his face, and you could hear it in his voice too. But and the thing is, like if you know Warstu, you know he's not like a huge Spider-Man fan. Matter of fact, I'm not sure that he's ever really talked anything good about Spider-Man, to be honest. But you can see like after he was like, whoa, like I don't know, it said a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, there's something to be said for seeing people on screen. I actually like seeing people on screen. Sometimes, no matter whether they're ranting or raving or whatever it is, I like seeing whoever it is that I'm talking to. And I'm not certainly saying that people who don't, you know, who do those kind of videos are, you know, like hiding their identity or anything. I don't think it's a thing of that. Maybe they just don't have a good camera, or maybe they just, you know, maybe they have, you know, because I've seen some people, they have some really cool creative slideshows and stuff, or you know, like videos going on while they're doing their voiceovers. So that's what I'm saying, like, you know. And then there's some of them I see that just have junk, you know, they're just doing junky voiceovers. And they get on there and there's like, you know, like say, I don't even know if I have an image here I could show you. I'm going to put up an image to show you, and they're just like, you know, this guy like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about, and it's just like all boring and stuff, you know, like, I don't know, man, like, you know, and believe me, that I probably watch plenty of videos here on YouTube that you guys would think is boring too, so... But I don't know. To me, like I said, when you're doing those slideshows and stuff, and when I can't see you, you gotta bring something to it. And so yeah, I don't know. But and also something to go along with that, I guess, is kind of what's gonna take me into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is something I kind of titled the stream after, was God, I can't even remember what I titled that. Right off the top of my head, I don't. It's been a long day, folks. It's been a long day. Damn, what's going on here with this thing? I shut this thing down. Oh, this piece of junk. But it's yeah, social validation. You know, it's a huge. I don't know. It's obviously a pretty big deal. I mean, everybody wants to feel good about themselves and have friends and things like that, people to talk to, and you know, unfortunately, it seems like these days, no, like a lot of people seek validation from social media, yet at the same time, nobody wants to hear it neither. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people are constantly just sitting there, you know, no matter what it is, even over the littlest thing, you know, it's like block, you know, block button. Like, you know, they might come in, they might say their 2 cents and then block button. And it's just, I don't know, to me, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, obviously, you know, you can see I'm 40 years old, so I didn't grow up in this time of, like, all this social media and people just being triggered and being just, like, babies. To me, it's just like it's a weird thing to me. It's a weird thing to me. I don't get it. You know, I just don't get it sometimes. But, you know, a lot of people actually, you know, they get on social media and they look too much into everything that's going on there. You know what I mean? I mean, even if they're like, oh, you know, like whatever with these people, you know, like they're just giving out, they're just trolls and all this. Some people still take out of that. You know what I mean? Like it still gets to them deep down inside. And, you know, like, because deep down inside, a lot of people these days are actually seeking that validation from social media, whether it be it here on like YouTube or, you know, on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. Just people do, you know, Instagram, you know, and I don't know. To me, it's just something, and some people really let it get to them. You know, like, man, how do I say? They take a lot. They take a lot out of it, more than they should. You know, and they maybe they start to take it personal, and I don't know. It's just a really weird thing. And, you know, and it just makes me think, because, you know, I heard recently there was a YouTuber who had committed suicide after something. I don't really know the whole story. I didn't dig into it. And that's a sad thing, you know. I've lost a lot of friends to suicide and things like that, and I don't really want to go into that here tonight. You know, we don't really talk about a whole lot of that stuff here on the channel, but the thing is you know, it's just sad anytime something like that happens. Like I said, I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and, you know, this big YouTuber, you know, I don't know, I guess he was somewhat big, you know. Like I said, I don't know who the person was, but, you know, apparently done a video and was saying they were sorry, and, you know, later, like, that was it. Like, I guess that they went out and done themselves in, and, you know, like I said, it's a sad deal. But to me, you know, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, you know, I don't know the person or what the situation was, but, you know, I'm sure that situation happens a lot where, you know, we've seen movies on it and, you know, TV shows and things where people just take it too far. They take too much out of it. And, you know, they may not think they're seeking validation from it. They may think they're blowing off whatever the situation may be. But, you know, deep down inside, I think a lot of people really do still take it personal. You know what I mean? And that's a bad thing. That's not really good, because that's not what it's here for. I mean, and I guess it gets kind of difficult because I don't know how, like I said, people take it personal, and like in those kind of ways, like, and maybe they never express it to other people, because, you know, in a lot of our culture today, people who are constantly on the social media and get this validation from the social media, they are outside of that, they might be a lonely person. Maybe they don't even really have any other friends or anything, because maybe they spend too much time sitting here making content and things like that. So, you know, who really knows? And I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like, I didn't really grow up in that, you know. Like, when I was growing up, I mean, you know, somebody called me a name, it was just like, sticks and stones may break my bones. But nowadays, you know, and, you know, words will never hurt me. But nowadays, like, words, like, hurt people and shit. Like, you can't say anything to somebody nowadays and they just start like getting all butthurt and like, dude, like, it's crazy. I mean, is it just me? I don't know, man. I see it all the time. Like I said, people constantly, the block button, like on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff over like politics and stuff like that. And to me, like, if you're blocking somebody over a difference in politics or a difference of opinion or things like that, I mean, how are you going to ever have any friends, or you can't agree with everybody. Like, what's the big problem with disagreeing with people these days? Like, no, everybody's just so scared to disagree. And to me, I just think there's something wrong with that. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid to disagree, people. It's okay to disagree. If you just have a bunch of people who do nothing but agree with you, what do you have? You got a bunch of fucking yes men just sitting there kissing your ass and telling you yes the whole time, right? I mean, isn't that essentially what you got? Like, who wants that? I mean, I suppose some people want that, but I mean, and therein lies the problem, because you don't want to hear somebody else's opinion. You just want to shut them out and have nothing. You just nothing to do with that, and that does nobody any good. Especially you, the person who doesn't want to hear what somebody else has to say. So that's what I get. Like I constantly I see it on Facebook, I see it on Twitter. People like they come in, they throw in their 2 cents, or they just instantly go block somebody over nothing, over a difference of opinion. Like, people can't have different opinions. Like, you just don't want to hear it, and you block them, and that's not how life works. That's not how life works. Like, I don't even care if it is on social media. Like me, I don't block people. I don't like sit there and like. Normally, won't hit stuff like, I want to see less of this. You know how on Facebook there's that option, like, you can hit click, like, I want to see less of this. And people, I don't do all that stuff. Like, I don't block people and stuff like that. To me, it's like, I want to hear what other people have to say. And yes, I'm probably going to laugh and joke about all of it, because, that's what I do. Like, on, like, when I'm on, like, Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, like, I don't really take shit seriously. Like, there's not much to be taken, like, seriously on these kind of platforms like that. So that's what, I guess, for me, that's what it kind of boggles me when people get so triggered and things like that. And maybe that's why I get on there. Like, before I started the channel here, was I sat there and just had a bunch of fun on Facebook, just fucking around, and that's just how it is. And it got to be boring. It's just like, this is really kind of boring. Like, like, I get on there, see my friends, they post pictures of themselves and their kids and, what they're doing. It's like, okay, that's cool, like, and then then the election time hit, and it was all politics and memes, the great meme wars of 2016, 2015. Yeah. Nobody posts pictures of their food anymore. I started it, though, man. I'm bringing that shit back. We're bringing back posting food again, okay? I'm going to post a picture of my salad again later that I'm going to have for dinner. I'm not going to post a picture of the chicken wings that I'm going to have, but, the Rookie Critic. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. Thank you for being here. I'm just here talking about, I was just talking about, like, social media, like, validation, like, people, like, social validation. Like, there's a difference between, like, what you get from people and what you get from social media. And so many people look into social media these days for that validation that they need to be getting like, from themselves by going out and doing things, just in real life. And going out and seeing other people, just like having a job or interacting with people, and interacting with people like outside of a job. Because I know, like, I used to work at Walmart, and I know how that's like a convoluted view of whatever community you live in, really, and also the people you work with and everything too. Especially where I live at, it gets. I don't know. It's just so convoluted. But like, being in places, like, interacting with people, like me, I'm lucky because I'm a small business owner. I run my own business. I get to go out in the community, and I see a bunch of small business owners, local people in the community. And what I see when I go out working is I see all good things in the community. It's a great place. And now there are obviously, like, a lot of bad things. Hell, I mean, we're just like a stone's throw away from LA, and there's a whole lot of shit that goes along with that, because there's, like, stories about people Anyway, I'm kind of getting off the subject here. But, going out and actually interacting with people and making friends and, having people you'll work with and stuff, like, that's, like, stuff that you need in your life. And there's too many people out there these days who don't, like, get that, like, that interaction with people, so that validation that they seek just in life, because we all seek validation in some sort of way. Some certainly more needy than others, but like we need that social interaction and all that stuff. In order to, I don't know, I guess kind of be who we are. But a lot of people don't get that. And that's when you get people who are on social media so much, they look into stuff, they look into it like far too much. They take stuff far too personally. And like I said, far too many people out there look, they see something online, somebody else's opinion, they don't like it, it's instant block button. That you can't have a difference of opinion. And to me, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And to me, I want to hear everybody's opinion. Now, I'm not saying I agree with everybody, and maybe not everybody, because there was some times there for a while, man, it was getting pretty outrageous just in Hollywood and on the TV and everything. I don't even have cable anymore or anything. I like streaming services, like I don't really even watch TV anymore. Mostly all I watch is like YouTube. Most of the people that I interact with here on YouTube, finding some people on Twitter, kind of getting into that a little bit. I don't really get on Facebook so much anymore, but I just really watch YouTube nowadays. And, I don't really watch the news or anything. I heard somebody the other day talking about some debates going on that just happened the other day with some Democratic debates or something. And I'm like, you got me, man. I don't know what you're talking about. And in the first place, even when I did watch TV, I didn't really ever watch like news networks or anything like that. Like when I want to see news, like I'll go out and seek what I'm looking for. I'll go out and search and find out, different articles and read about it and be like, okay, I, kind of put two and two together, because there's so many different things out there that, you can't just look at one and be like, okay, that's it. You got to kind of look at everything, and you got to dig around. But so many people just want to see one point of view, so they just go look after that one point. And anybody can do that. You can go dig into whatever you want and get that, and get that end result of whatever it is you want to hear, just by whatever resource that you're going to. So, and like I said, unfortunately, people need social interaction. So many people just spend so much time just there, they don't actually get personal interaction. I think it's something that's so needed. And like I said, a lot of people, and that's why you see a lot of people online and stuff, when they get a difference of opinions and things like that, they just, I don't know. People just are so easily triggered. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can't have a difference of opinion. Otherwise, you're just like a bad person. You're a bigot. You're a this. You're a that. You're a racist. You're a Nazi. You're just all these different things that people just want to call you just because you don't agree with them. Like, whatever happened to just disagreeing with people? Like, people always pull this agree to disagree bullshit. Like, fuck out of here. No, we just disagree. We just disagree. Like, I don't know. That just seems to be a resounding thing. I seem to come back to that every single week. I'm going to hop into live chats. See, we got some people here going along. Hey, D, poor guy. Likes. I work at Subway. Ooh, yeah, Subway. That's an interesting job. Yeah, I think I seen one of your videos the other day when you were doing some video, and you had some of the shots there from when you were there at work. Subway, I've never worked at a Subway, but you know what? When I was growing up, I sure the hell worked at a lot of fast food places. I worked at a Sonic, and not the Sonic like we have here where I live at in California, dude. Like, the Sonic here sucks. Where I grew up at in the Midwest, I grew up in Kansas, like, we had good Sonics there. And when I used to work there, we actually breaded the onion rings ourselves. We had steak sandwiches, and we breaded that shit ourselves. We had these piccolos. They were like, you take the pickles and you bread them basically the same way you do an onion ring, and you put like pepper, more pepper and shit in it. It's like, they were really good. And then we actually used to make them jalapenos like that just for ourselves when we worked there. But yeah, like, when Sonic was good, I spent some time working at McDonald's, Burger King. Man, I tried to get hired at Pizza Hut one time. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Like, I think about, like, I don't ever want to, like, work fast food again, but, like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I always kind of wanted to own, like, a restaurant or run a fast food place, something like that. But not, like, a big chain one. Like, I'd like to do my own, but, it'd probably, I've just always wanted to do that. But nowadays, like, I think a food truck would be great. I'd love to have a food truck and just go out there and just serve like different food every day. But yeah, Subway. That's certainly, you probably see definitely that's definitely an odd, another outlook. Like I said, when you're working in places, like, you see like it's a kind of a convoluted sense of like community of where you work at, or live at, I guess, really. Just strange, and I'm a people watcher. I watch people. I like observing people. Like, even when we used to go to Disneyland, we had our annual pass. We used to take the kids a lot. Like, sometimes when the kids would be on rides and stuff, I just sit there and I just watch people. I don't know. I just like observing people. I wanted to be a small business owner, but not sure I want that as a career. A lot more investment than I thought. Yeah, it really kind of depends on what you do, on what you get into. Because, like me, I actually bought into a small franchise, and it's probably like one of the cheapest franchises you could ever get into. And you got minimum orders, a minimum amount of money you gotta spend a month, product and everything, and you go out and sell it. But overall, it's really nice. It's nice being your own boss, set your own hours, things like that. You got freedom. Like when my kids have school functions or anything like that, that is really nice. But at the same time, it comes with like a whole new level of stresses that you don't get when you're an employee working at like at a Subway or a Walmart, or just having a regular job. There's a whole different bunch of different stresses, and it can be challenging. It can be challenging because, like, one thing I noticed, like, for me, doing what I do every day is staying motivated. The one thing I know I absolutely need to do is go out and put in more footwork here in the community and get more customers, get more businesses on like my Mondays, on my Tuesdays, a little bit more on my Wednesdays. My Thursdays and Fridays are pretty busy. And then I know I need to get out just like, 30 minutes earlier every single day. And I know I need to set these goals for myself and really sit down there and do it. Because, that's different. Like when you have a job, like, you got to be there. Otherwise, your boss is going to be pissed. You're going to get write-ups or whatnot. And your ass is going to lose your job. So here, there's like, I've got to stay motivated. And sometimes, bills and everything, that's definitely the motivator. But at the same time, when you could go out and do so much a day and get by, it's like, okay, I don't need to get by, I need to hurry up, and I need to get out there and just be motivated and stay on top of it. And that's one thing I kind of miss about having a job. Like when I used to work at Walmart, I actually miss my job there because I worked when I first started there. I was unloading trucks, and then I went in and I was a department manager. I actually led our unloading crew for a little while before they even had like leads or anything like that. And which was interesting. That was an interesting time because they asked me if I would be the lead, even though it wasn't an actual title. And they were, at the time, they could still give merit raises. They were going to give me a merit raise. And I told them, I'm like, okay, look, because somebody actually suggested me for the job, and I was like, hey man, I really appreciated that, man. I really did appreciate that. It meant a lot that this person suggested me for the job. And so they were going to give me a raise, but I went back there when I went and talked to the new store manager. He was a newer store manager. He had been there, I don't know, maybe a month or two, a couple months, not too long. But and the assistant manager, I went in there and I told him, I'm like, look, if you guys really want me to do this job, I need to run it my way, and I don't need you guys to interfere with it. I can't have you guys back there messing with my shit. Like, I need, like, if you go it, like, that's my back room. That's my back room. If I need to send somebody home, I'm sending their ass home. If I need to coach somebody, we'll coach somebody. But for the most part, if I send somebody home and they come to you and say, Trinity sent me home for the day, what do? I'm sending their ass home. Don't say, okay, well, go over here and go push some carts or go do this or do that. No. I need this person out of here. I need them to know that I'm not messing around, and I need them to be here listening to me, because I actually worked with most of these dudes before. So I needed to be an authority, but at the same time, I didn't want to be a complete dick. So there's a fine line. There's a fine line, but I knew at the very get go, I had to. I had to step it up, and I had to take charge, and that's what I did, and I eased into it. I mean, I didn't just go in there like the first day and send somebody home. It took time, and it took a lot of that. Because one thing I did was I sat everybody down and told them, like, look, this is my back room. Managers aren't going to come back here and mess with you. I've already asked them, and like the store manager was like, okay, so like basically. What do you need from us? I'm like, I need nothing from you. I don't want anything from you. I want you to leave my people alone. They are my people. Come to me if you need anything done. I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm not gonna say no or anything like that, but come to me for whatever you need done, and I will tell the guys what to do because I need it running like I need it running. And the store manager was like, kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, like, like it was kind of funny, and he even told me, he goes, why would I give you this money and give you all this, you know, this and that? I'm like, well, they're the ones that you guys, I'm being asked to do this job. I didn't come in here and ask for the job. But if you want it to run like you want it ran, you need to give me everything I just asked you for, and it'll be all good. And he's like, you know, and the kind of money I was asking for too, he's like, okay, he's like 90 days. If you can make an improvement in 90 days, I'll give you this raise. And it's a raise that we can't take away. It's a raise that we absolutely cannot take away no matter what. I'll give you 90 days. And he's like, and I was like, how about 30 days? He's like 60 days. 60 days. I was like, no. I was like, 30 days. Give me 30 days to make a difference. I want that raise. 30 days, I'll have a difference in your back room. And he's like, and he was just like, and he's like, seriously, he was sitting there like, this fucking guy right here. Like, he's like, all right. 30 days later, bam, fucking raise, man. And I guarantee you they didn't regret it. And I you know, and that's just me, you know, I took the position, and, you know, like I said, I did have some pushback from a couple of people at one point, and I actually asked them, because there was one guy that was back there that I knew he would be a monkey wrench in my whole plan, the way I needed to run things. And that was one of the things I asked him too, like, this guy, he's not a bad worker. I can't have him there because a lot of people look to him as like the guy that's in charge when the person that's not in charge is in charge, and I can't have him be there doing that when I'm not there. And I can't have him be my second in charge. And so I was like, I need him out of the back room as well. And they're like, you know, they're kind of like, whoa, you know, but, and I was like, and it was hard because, like, I didn't want him to think that it was personal. And I know he kind of took it personal too, but I couldn't have him there doing that neither. But like I said, 30 days later, it was all good, made that difference. And like I said, I did have some pushback. One of the guys, I actually did send him home one day. And, you know, and he was pissed. This dude was pissed. And he probably didn't talk to me he probably didn't say a word to me for like 2 weeks. But you know what? He came to work every damn day after that and worked, did everything I asked him to. He didn't, like I said, he didn't talk to me or anything for like 2 weeks. But you know what? I respected the dude, and he respected me. And like I said, he came to work, and, you know, he was, you know, I always kind of constantly had to stay on him. But anyway, I don't know. I'm rambling on here about a whole bunch of nonsense, I guess. But you know what? That actually kind of goes with what we're talking about here, though. Is getting. I mean, that you need that. That's like personal validity that you need, just like interacting with people. That's stuff you don't get on social media. And you know, I think there's a whole lot of stuff wrong in our world today that boils down to these simple things. And you know, another thing that I actually hate too. Man, I need to get back in the chats here. But another thing I hate too is, you know, I'm 40 years old, and I dealt with a lot of people in my time there working at Walmart. Is a lot of people always talking about the millennials, this millennial generation, and they don't want to work and all this and that. And, you know, a lot of people talking about that kind of stuff. But, you know, in my real life experience, I can tell you, like, I never experienced any of that, for one, because I noticed that, like, a lot of the people that say this kind of stuff are the same kind of people who don't want to help train the new guy. They don't want to help this or help that. And I always used to, you know, like I said, I spent a lot of times being a lead in a lead position when I was working there at Walmart. And I always, when I was running my unloading crew, I said, when we got a new guy, you guys are gonna train him. you guys have to work with them every day. Okay, you got to work with these people every day. And it wasn't always guys, because we had girls too. And I always loved it when we got girls back there working with us, women, because the women came back there and they kicked ass and they worked and they always stayed on task. They always stayed on task doing it. Where the guys, they're hee-hawing around. So the women were always a good example. Any of the women that ever came back and worked with me and that I worked with in the back room. So it was always a good thing that I always liked that, because the women, they kind of kept the guys there in check too and kept them from getting a little too rowdy. Because believe me, when you're sitting there unloading trucks there at Walmart, boys will be boys. Let me tell you that much. And so it was good for that too. But like I said, I mean, just being there, getting that interaction with people is something that I think a lot more people need, and a lot of people don't get these days. And people, like I said, when I made my crew train the new people, because I would tell them also, like, it's your job to train this person because you work with them every day. You're one of my good people, and I need you to train them because I need them to work like you. You need them to work like you. You training them makes your job easier. If they can help out and they're not just in your way, it's that much better for you. I mean, you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to cover their shit. You don't have to do, so you ultimately want to train them. And I, get my people thinking differently. So, I mean, hopefully it made it better, just trying to do whatever I could. It wasn't even trying to do whatever I could. I was trying to instill values in them. And that was the thing I always found is, older people never wanted to train the new people. And yet they wanted to complain about them the whole time. But the thing is I've been new at a job. You need training. You got to train people to get them to be able to. I mean, for one, one of my big things was productivity. For me to have somebody be productive, I need somebody to be trained, and I want them to be trained by the best. And that's who I go to. And you even put them at some point. They even see the people. They start to see the people who aren't, and they're like, oh, okay, this person sucks, and I probably want to be better than this person because we're always ragging on that guy. Code Red. You guys ever seen A Few Good Men? Damn, maybe I probably need to do a review and then do a discussion about A Few Good Men. Maybe we should do a live stream. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Anyway, okay, yeah, but yeah, being a small business owner, it's not too bad. I'm tired of working for corporate America. I need to be supreme chancellor. Yeah, you know what? And like I said, it's corporate America. I mean, it does suck. But it's got its upsides too. Like I said, a lot of people rag on Walmart, and I will tell you, I've come to defend Walmart quite a bit. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about a place like Walmart, and it's really not that bad. But the thing is it's not a bad job. And here's the one thing: there's no such thing as a bad employee. It's a bad manager, and I can say that's the absolute truth, because I was always a good employee when I worked there, but I had some shit managers, and they made it tough to work. They just made it hard to work. And so, like I said, I mean, yeah, corporate America's bad. It's not that great, because you gotta think corporate America, they're always thinking bottom line. They always got that bottom line thinking. You gotta be making money, especially if they got investors and things like that. So, they always have to make money. Their job to their investors, their obligation to their investors is to make money. They have to make money, pretty much no matter what. And no matter how. And some people take that a little too seriously and a little too far. And that's actually really unfortunate. And that's one of the things I always tried to do when I was there in that. I never actually got to be an assistant manager when I was working there at Walmart. And part of the reason for that is because I'm not a yes man. And I always do what I need to do to get the job done. A lot of the times, if I wasn't doing what I needed to do, they would give me stuff to do. If I didn't do what I needed to do, because the areas I was in, your stuff wouldn't get done. I want to help you, and I will find some way to get you some help soon, but I have to if my stuff don't get done, your store's going to fall apart, okay? Because a lot of the times when I was in these positions, I was working in the back room. And at a place like Walmart, if your back room is jacked up, your store is jacked up. And so I, had to spend a lot of time there, and believe me, it is hard because I can't be there 24 hours a day, and, there's no overtime and all this kind of crap that was going on at the times. And that made it rough, and that is why it was always crucial for me to get people and get them trained and get them doing what I needed them to do and how I do it as well. Because when I came back the next day, I needed it to be how I needed it to be. And that was rough, especially communicating with overnights, because the overnight crew, I mean, they had a whole, like, things are a little bit different at that place now, but they've got a different, like, they're just trying to stock shelves and then get the freight back into the bins. But like, you got to take time, you got to spend time, you got to organize the bins, you got to do these, you got to do that, and like, I need people knowing that. So it comes down to training this person, training that person, training everybody. So it's just easier when people just train the people, right? I don't know. But yeah, corporate America, man. Corporate America. I kind of miss it though. Like I said, it's been 5 years now, and something I kind of miss is that stress. I actually kind of miss that stress. Is that weird? Missing stress? I don't know. I don't miss it that much though. Although I do have a different type of stress. Yep, YouTube and some streaming. I focus on YouTube too much now. I'm behind on all of my favorite TV shows. Right? Yeah, man. I know. I've been the same way. And the thing is I'm getting better. And that's kind of the thing though, is like, I've noticed I've been doing it for about about 7 months now. And I'm getting better. So I think that's one thing, is like, maybe you're doing a lot right now, but as you get better and better and better, like, it becomes easier and it becomes faster. Like right now, I've probably got like 4 videos that I've got shot and ready to edit. And the thing is, like, they get quicker to edit too, because you do less takes and things like that, and just get it down better. So it becomes faster. But the one thing along with that I want to do is I want to start doing more creative stuff. Like doing like little kind of skits and intros. So, just like something a little more entertaining, just kind of to stretch my abilities, I guess. So, but yeah, and I feel the same way. Like, I'm behind on movies, some of the TV shows that I watch and things like that. I've been keeping up with reading comics, because I talk about a lot about comics here on the channel. So I've definitely been keeping up with those. But yeah, it's definitely taken some time away from other things. I'm in retail, sales, and customer service. People are slightly annoying. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, and it's rough, and that's one of the things. Like I said, I worked at Walmart for years, and at the time, probably the highest position I got to at that time was a ZMS, like a zone merchandise supervisor, and I had several different ZMS positions I did. And at this time, our store manager, he really gave us a lot of responsibility. Like, he put a lot on us. He gave us a lot, and I think it was a good thing, and I'm thankful for that. And for me, I really loved that, because like, I really miss that position, being in that leadership position and helping, like I said, training people and getting them to work together, building teamwork, building trust, building these relationships, working with different personalities. I was so good at that. And I remember I actually had a couple of times where I got, I was in a position where I could go in and set on coachings and things. And, I had some CSMs that would call me up to the front to, like, put some of their, like, cashiers to coach their cashiers or whatnot and do things like that. And they would pull the person in there, and while we're waiting for the person to get there, because they were typically working, they had to shut the register down and whatnot, and then get into the office or come from the sales floor, or whoever we were talking to. And I'd just be sitting in and be the witness, be the person, put in the little password and all that stuff, and they would have the conversation with the person, and like, we wouldn't really talk about what they were going to do. Like, we'd just kind of BS and about whatever, passing the time until the person got there, and then they'd come in and bring the person in there and do their coaching. And a lot of the times I would kind of read over the coaching and see what's going on here, and see what they're saying to the person while they're going through the coaching. And then when they're done, a lot of times I would kind of throw in my 2 cents about what was going on, and just something, because I know how it is to get a coaching. Like, they can be frustrating, like sometimes, like, frustrating, like you end up being pissed off, or sometimes, like, people get emotional and stuff like that. Like, they can be tough. So, I would also put in my 2 cents to just, like, add some stuff in there because, you know, a lot of times I always had something to say, and me, when I've got something to say, I say it. You know, I'm not the person that can not say something. And so I would always toss my 2 cents in, and, you know, just kind of tell them, like, hey, you know, like, this is going on right now, but, you know, like, in the future, like, do this or do that, you know, like, whatever. And, you know, I actually had several times, like, several of the other, like, CSMs, managers and stuff like that, and be like, oh, wow, like, that was really good. Like, wow, like, we should have you come in and do this more with us, because, like, you were really good at that. Like it just felt so, I don't know, so not mean. And I'm like, and that's what I try to do. Like, you know, I try to put myself, like, as a manager in the manager position, and also in that person's position, because I've been on both sides before. And believe me, being a person who likes to speak their mind and stuff like that, it's, you get in those positions a lot. You get in those positions a lot. I was in those kind of positions a lot where, because I speak my mind, I ended up in the office a lot, and not always good, and not always bad times. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was good, but I don't know. I mean, even when you're trying to coach somebody, that's the other thing. At a place like that, people look at, just because somebody did something bad and you got to reprimand them, doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thing. It's a teaching moment, is what it is. Most people just want to go in there and say, hey, stop being, you know, like, like, whatever, I'm the boss, you gotta do what I say, or, you know, you're breaking this rule or whatnot. I mean, that's what it's about, but you don't have to be a jerk about it. You know, in the end, I mean, these are relationships, ultimately, and you're trying to nurture this associate of yours to be a good associate, because you don't want bad associates. You know, you gotta get the best out of them, so you don't want to just come in and just beat them, you know? Maybe you beat them a little bit, and then you give them a pat on the back and say, hey, man, it's going to be all right. We just need to correct this, and it's all good. But I also miss times, too, when people would come in there, you know, customers coming in there, like you're saying, in customer service, would come in to my people at customer service at the front because of returns or whatever, and they're sitting there yelling MFer and just calling my person up at customer service all kinds of names and just being an asshole to my people. And they call me up there. I used to love going to those calls because I got somebody upset, and, you know, and they're sitting there, and, you know, I always tell my people, like, if this ever happens, just call us. I'm not even one of the assistant managers. It's not even my job to get yelled at. But please give me a call anytime. I'll happily get yelled at. And I go up there and get yelled at and everything, you know, because, like, I don't need them people hearing that. I don't need my customer service people hearing that while, you know, getting cursed out and all that shit because they can't do this return or whatnot, or just because something went wrong in the store or whatever. So I go up there and, you know, ask the person what's wrong. You know, a lot of times people just want to yell and unload. A lot, you know, because, like, I don't know how many times I had somebody yelling, screaming in my face, and they'd get done and I'd be like, I'm terribly sorry about that. But what would you like me to do to help you today? And I'm telling you, man, probably 7 times out of 10, they'd be like, well, nothing. Just wanted to let you all know that, and I just don't expect that when I come here. Don't let it happen again. It's not like, okay, you know, I'll go talk to that person. We'll get it taken care of. A lot of times that's what it was. It was just somebody just wanted to unload on somebody, and that was it. Don't come to my customer service desk unload on my associate over here, or even my customer service manager. Hell, man, why you ain't gotta do all that? But then again, like, it's just crazy, you know. I just don't need all that. I hate, and I always love those kind of calls because, you know, I was good at dealing with those things. I miss that. Those are the kind of things in corporate America that I miss. You know, being there for the associates, training the associates. Man, I miss that kind of stuff. Leadership, teamwork. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I've actually got some more videos and things that I've been planning on doing here on the channel. That I will probably be bringing some of that content, that type of things to the channel. So be on the lookout. I did like a video last week that I did, I think last Thursday or last Friday morning that I did that a couple people liked. Kind of a motivational kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. The Rookie Critic says, I thought owning a Subway would be like $30,000. Turns out it's like 100K and then some. Oh yeah. Because I mean, you got to pay for the franchise, and then if they're buildings, having things. Yeah, that's really expensive, but plus you got to think that's a food joint too. Like I said, if you can find the right thing to get into, being a small business owner isn't that bad. Or if you can find something to make money out of it. And that's the ultimate thing, is if you can find something that you can do and actually make yourself and sell, that's the ultimate thing that you really want, because then you're making something out of nothing. Of course, that's harder when it comes to taxes, putting that value on it as well. But I mean, yeah, it just depends. It depends on what you want to do. But yeah, to me, I think like for a Subway or something, I wouldn't want that, because like I said, you got the franchise. You're buying into a franchise like that, and you got a lot of rules you got to go by. But the thing is the thing with the franchise is you get the name, so you're instantly getting customers in the door. Like if you got a Subway, people are coming through your door no matter what. You got customers that are coming through your door no matter what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like a brand new store, doesn't matter. You got a brand new Subway. Fast food restaurants and stuff like that rarely ever close down. I'm not sure if you ever actually seen the movie Clerks 2, but if you go watch the movie Clerks 2 and watch I think it was the commentary. I don't even think it was in the bonus features. I think it was in the director's commentary throughout the movie. They were talking about when they were going to shoot that movie, to find the movies to shoot in. They had a hard time finding a place to shoot in, because fast food places don't often close down, and they actually happened to find, I think that restaurant was maybe, what did they say, like a Pizza Hut or something, and it had actually just closed down because they opened a new one up right across the street or something like that. So it was like one of those rare cases they actually found a place that wasn't an existing location they could do a fast food restaurant at. So but the thing, and then that's the cool thing about a place like a Subway. I mean, you're guaranteed people through the door no matter what. The thing is, you got to provide the quality and stuff like that, getting people to keep coming to your place. And and that's something I remember when I was working at McDonald's. One of my favorite managers I ever had, man. He was a great manager, and he was actually one of my friends on Facebook. But he was he was a great manager. But one of the things he taught me, and I was a youngster when I was working there, but he was all about quality. Sending out quality food, good food. He didn't like resending stuff back out, people having to bring food back. It's got to be sent out right the first time. That's the thing. How hard is that? How hard is it to send it out right the first time? You don't send out cold fries. You don't send out cold fajitas. You don't send out cold food. You don't send out wrong food. It's not that hard to do. But one of the things, you go to McDonald's nowadays and they give you your order of fries, and you see stripes, when you get the order of fries, the box that's got the stripes on the inside, you see stripes on those things every single time. I barely have fries poking out of the little hole on there. My store manager at that time, my manager, he said, no. He said, I don't want to see those stripes when I send those French fries out. I don't want to see those stripes. Fill that thing up. So that's what it was. You filled up. He's not saying pack them in there, but he don't want to see the stripes in there. And that's how it should be. I mean, that's the thing what you got to do. If you're going to open a Subway or something like that, you got to have you work at the Subway. I don't even have to tell you. You got to have a good crew. You got to have people that work good together to be able to, when it's rush hour time to, they can whip out that food. I remember when I worked at McDonald's, man, I was 16 years old. I was alone in the back, working in the grill area in the back room, in the grill area, flipping burgers, making the burgers and all that. I was 16 years old working in the back all by myself. And I remember one day we got 3 buses of kids came through. Well, I was a kid at the time, but I was 16 years old back there working all by myself, doing all these burgers and all this stuff. Dude, how many 16-year-olds can do that? How many 16-year-olds can do that these days? Go out, go work at a McDonald's in the back room, making all them burgers and everything, and put themselves through that kind of stress? Probably not many. Probably not a whole lot. But you know what? Part of that is actually society too. 16-year-olds can't really do that shit nowadays, I don't think. I don't think they can go out and work at McDonald's and work in the grill area doing that kind of stuff nowadays. And you know what? That's just America, and that's just us crippling our kids. I mean, hell, I started working when I was 14 years old. So, I bought my first car at 15. So, I mean, that's just something else going on in our society these days. Is people, like, you know, I get it, you know, let kids be kids, but you know what? We still crippling our kids by not giving them responsibility. And that's one thing I try to do with my kids is give them responsibilities. Although I gotta say, let me just tell you, I'll tell you, they don't have chores and shit they do here at home. They don't, you know, they don't have to keep the room clean. But believe me, we make them clean their room, but we don't make them do things regularly. And we need to change that. Believe me, it's something we'll work on. Something where I am a bad parent. I am a bad parent. But you know what? I've got some damn good kids, though. I've got some damn good kids, regardless of that fact. So we've done something right. We've done something right. And I know I can put responsibility on them. Because, like, my daughters, they've always been responsible for each other and, like, their little brother. And they're just good like that. You know what I mean? Like, they make me damn proud. So I know, like, when we start to pile that kind of stuff on them, I know they'll do it. But the thing is, I want them to just do it automatically, you know? Not like, oh, here's your chores. Like, you're expected to take out the trash. You're expected to sweep the floor. You're expected to keep your room clean. I mean, you know, that's what... I mean, and my parents probably said the same thing, but, you know, and they probably expected the same thing, but it wasn't always like my room was always clean and all that kinds of stuff neither, so... You know, I mean, you just put on them what you can and, you know, hope for the best. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but yeah, certainly, yeah. Subway wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, a whole lot. Yeah, that is a whole lot of money too. And Angeli Araya, did I say that right? Angeli Araya. Hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here, so welcome. Boatwright Family and Comics. Welcome to the show. You want to give your customers a reason to come back. Exactly, you do. And that's, I mean, so many people don't realize that a little bit goes a long way. You know, one of my managers, and it was a manager that I worked with when I was working at Walmart, that I really didn't like that much. I really didn't like this guy at all. Garth Brooks. He actually came back one day. He actually gave me something insightful one day that I was like, ooh, I'm going to keep, I like that. But it wasn't even him, it was his wife. That she said, you know, anytime you ever go to Disneyland, what is Mickey Mouse doing? He's smiling. He's always smiling. You never see him frowning. Be Mickey Mouse. When you come to work, be Mickey Mouse, okay? Especially for your customers. Greet them. Say hello. Give them a smile. If you're having the worst day ever, just fake it. But you know what? Like, don't do one of those, like, fake it. Like, be genuine. You can, like, believe me, I've had some really, really shitty days in my life. But maybe I'm just a good enough actor. I've been able to fake it. I've been able to smile and be decent to people and be nice. You know, it's not that hard to do, but it's just one of those little things that goes a long way for your customers. You know, the other thing is too, like skimping out on stuff. You know, this is one thing. This is one, you know, speaking about giving your customers a reason to come back. A huge thing to me is so many places I go to nowadays, like every McDonald's out here where I go to, and it's been a while since I've actually went to McDonald's, but you go there, like you order some chicken McNuggets or something, and you ask for, you know, like, can I get 2 barbecue and a hot mustard? And they're like, ooh, well, our sauce policy says that we can only give you 2 for that 9-piece chicken McNuggets, and we're going to have to charge you for the 3rd one. What? I just spent $20 on food, and you want to charge me 25 cents for a little cup of sauce? Are you kidding me? I've actually had that happen at McDonald's several times there in the drive-thru, and like, yeah, and I'm like, and they're kind of sitting like, and like they think I'm kidding, and I'm like, just refund my money. Just refund my money. You know, and ultimately, the manager's like, oh. Well, you're sorry. Like, oh no, we just got this sauce policy, and then, you know, like once, like there's been like twice. I told him like, well, I've got a policy too. I just spent $30 on food, and you can't give me 2 little cups of sauce. $30. So just refund my stuff. And they're like, Oh, okay. Yeah, it's about principle. It's about principality here, right? $30, you can't afford one little... No. No, I can guarantee you, when I worked at McDonald's, if my store manager, I was just talking about it a minute ago, if I worked at McDonald's and a customer came to my store manager, or, and said, hey, can you give my money back? They're trying to charge me 25 cents for an extra cup of sauce. You know what? He probably actually would have refunded their money, let them keep the food, gave them the damn sauce, came back and said, what's wrong with you? Did you seriously just try to charge that person money for a cup of sauce? I guarantee you he would have been pissed. But nowadays, you go there and they're like, oh no, we need that 25 cents. Come on, man. Come on, dude. This is McDonald's we're talking about here. Maybe your owners or whoever owns that franchise is just that bad at handling their money or something. I don't know. But 25, come on. McDonald's. You don't have to do that. It's ridiculous. But I've had a couple of times where I stuck to my guns and I was like, nope, just refund my money. I'll go eat somewhere else. Go across the street where they gave me what? You know what? They didn't even charge me for the sauce. And you know what? They had better food. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, that's one thing. When you're in a place like that, you've got to get them to come back through your door. And you got to do what you can to get them there. And it's and plus I know working in those places, it's not always fun either, Especially when you're a youngster and sometimes you get people in there being dicks. You're like, dude, why are you being a dick to me, man? Shit, I'm just here working. I'm doing the best I can. Asshole over there didn't even fucking train me. I've only been half trained, so I don't even really know what I'm doing. And that's just how it goes these days. It's just sad. It's absolutely sad. And that's, man, here, I completely went off on another tangent here. But that's one thing I do miss about that corporate America and just stuff like that is being in charge of stuff, being able to, because, for me, I'm a consumer, we're all consumers, is I hate going into a place and getting bad service at a place when it's something that's so simple. So simple. And, man, it's just the worst. So that's the one thing I miss is being in places like that where I could go in and make that difference and be like, hey guys, look, here's all you got to do. Here's all you got to do. Just do this simple little thing to take care of this customer. And this is going to, you just do this one simple little thing, it's going to satisfy all of these customers. And then we can make the little tweaks here and there. Just, yeah, getting people to come back through the door, and it's not that hard. Like I said, it's developing people. Like I said, having jobs and being a manager at a place and running employees and just different things like that. It's relationships, and that's one thing a lot of people seem to forget. And I always used to tell all my people at work when I was in those leadership roles, all the people that worked under me, whether it was my department managers or it was their associates under them, when I was in the back room with my unloaders and stuff like that. And believe me, my unloaders, I used to be so hard on my unloaders, and I respect the hell out of all of them dudes. And I think no matter what, even as mad as I always used to make them, I think they respected the hell out of me. And I say that because no matter how many times I flipped out on them, no matter how big of an asshole I ever was, you know what? Them dudes came in and busted their asses for me. And I was thankful every damn time. And that's why I said when I was in those positions, I always told my managers, don't come back there and mess with my people. Not my unloaders. I can't have you do it. Because you don't know what it's like. Especially because most of the managers there didn't come from unloading trucks. You don't know what it's like to be back there doing what they're doing every day, okay? I do. Just let me deal with them, okay? Just don't go back there and do that. I don't need you crushing their morale just like that over nothing. Over something that just because you approach something wrong, okay? And I'm not saying that they're that these dudes were all sensitive and that they had to walk on eggshells. It's just sometimes managers get that corporate mentality and they go back there and think they can just stomp their feet and be a manager and shit's gonna happen. Yeah, the dudes might just you've got your title, so they might respect it that much, but they're sitting there the whole time going, F this manager. I hate this guy. He just don't understand. You know what I mean? So I always, yeah. Yeah. I said, man, that's the one thing I miss about those about I guess having a corporate job like that, man. Because believe me when I say I'm the dude that was there, that was the manager or whatnot, or there was even the dude that was working with you. That's the one thing. That's the other thing I ultimately miss too. Because I was thinking about that a while back. Like, man, imagine if I did go back to working at Walmart and went back to unloading trucks and all that stuff. I'm not there to be a manager. I'm going back there because I just want to throw trucks. I want to unload trucks and I just want to get in there and be physical and do that. I like doing physical work. And I'm a manager's best friend. I'm a supervisor's best friend. You know why? If they just let me, be myself and just turn me loose, is I will put your people in check, because I can guarantee you if I'm back somewhere busting my ass, there's not going to be one person around me not busting their ass right along with me. No. You're not going to be a lazy ass around me when you're fucking working. I can guarantee it. And that's the one thing I miss about being an employee, being the small guy. Because, see, when I was the manager, when I was the supervisor and all that stuff, you got a whole different set of rules to work by. Like, I can't go back there and just, well, I did because I worked with all them. Like I said, I gained their respect. And that's the one thing a whole lot of managers seem to forget these days. They think just because they're a manager or a supervisor that they should be automatically owed that respect and given that respect. Yes, you get like that much, but you got to earn these people's respect. You got to earn it. And how do you earn it? When I was in that position right there, unloading trucks, you got to go. Can you go back? Can you throw a truck? Can you get on there and throw this truck in an hour? This 3,200 piece truck in an hour? No, you can't, okay? Get out of my face. Oh, and don't even get on the line. Don't even start unloading the line, because you don't know where any of them damn boxes go. You know what? It would just be best, Mr. Manager, if you just go back there and watch everybody work, okay? Because you're just going to get in our way. But yeah, like when I was the supervisor, like, I could go back there and unload those trucks. I could go back there and stack your pallets right. I could go back there and know where all the stuff went. Like I said, that's what I did. And so that was one of the things. I would go back there and I would work. When I was back there working, I would work harder than everybody else that was there working. Harder than my supervisor that I had in charge of the back room. Harder than the people who were on the line working. Because for me, I had to. That's the only way I'm going to have all of these people's respect. But at the same time, I'm not going to go in there all the time and do their work for them. That was the thing. Like, you gotta, like, there's a line you gotta walk there, and you just gotta learn it. And the thing is, you gotta get the people's respect. And I can guarantee you, by the time you got, like, say you've got like these, 12 people that you've got that are there under your tutelage, I guess you could say, that have that respect for you. By the time some new people come in, you think you got, one of these new hot shots, you think he's, some smart ass gonna be going there, ha ha ha. The other dudes will keep him in check. When he comes back there, who's this guy? Who does this guy think he is? Come back here. They'll be like, it's the supervisor, bro. He's the one you don't wanna make an enemy with. So you better shape your shit up. Otherwise, yeah. Because believe me, I wasn't like mean. I wasn't like mean with the people I didn't like. I still always gave them chance. Like, there was a lot of people I worked with that I didn't like. But I was still always fair. It doesn't matter to me whether I like you or not. I'll still be fair. You could be a good employee and I don't like you. I mean, that's that's just how it is. But like, I worked with people and supervised people that I didn't really necessarily like on like a personal level. Like, oh yeah, like that's not what work is about. As a matter of fact, being friends actually kind of makes work even harder. But yeah, I'm just going off on this stuff today. Maybe I need to make some more videos about that kind of stuff. Maybe I need to find a way to integrate that into some of those videos I want to do here on the channel. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I could go off on that kind of stuff all night long, man. Just being in those kind of positions, because it's just things out in the workforce. I guess I do kind of miss working. I can hear my family actually just got back. They went out to eat and everything. It's getting kind of late here, guys. I've been going here for about an hour and a half anyway. I try to usually keep the show about an hour and a half in case you guys have never been here. But yeah, like I said, and I talked about it at the very beginning of the video. Go check it out this Sunday. I'm going to get a link here in the video a little bit later on. So make sure you check back. I'm going to get a link for Drunk 3PO. Go check out his channel. There's going to be that live stream going on Sunday. That is, God, what is it called? Some Black Guys and a Drunk? Go check it out on Sunday. I should be able to make it there for that live stream. I'll find a link for that. And thank you all so much for being here tonight. Again, if you're not already, please make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell so you get notifications anytime that we have uploaded new content. And what that does is it also sends you out notifications anytime I plan on doing a live video like here on the Trailer Park Live. Thank you all so much once again. You all have a very good day. Have a good rest of your night. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Later.